Hi everyone, our topic is regarding Arduino. So in this session, we are going to discuss about the Arduino board, Arduino hardware and Arduino software. So most probably people who are very new to the embedded projects, who are interested in doing the projects, like they can choose the Arduino, right? So and they can program easily and they can design their own embedded projects, right? So this is the reason we are going to discuss about the Arduino. Fine. So firstly, we'll be discussing the Arduino hardware and then we'll be going to know about the coding part. So this is what the Arduino board, guys. So generally, why we choose particularly the Arduino is all about like it is as inbuilt. Everything is inbuilt. So it is very easy enough to the people who are very new with the embedded projects, right? So generally, if we take the other microcontrollers like 8051 or ARM microcontrollers or any other AVR or anything, so at that particular point of view, we'll be having separate board and we should prefer to have some particular key software and we should program and everything should be interfaced. Like it makes some complications. And coming towards this Arduino, so the Arduino hardware and the same name, what we call it as an Arduino software, right? So it was like the same company, they have designed the hardware and particular IDE as a software so that we can program easily and we can design the particular project very easily. Fine. So coming to the Arduino hardware, guys, here we are going to use this is what the microcontroller atmega atmega 328, right? So this is what the microcontroller what we are going to use. And the red color is the reset button, and this is the USB jack where you are going to connect to the computer to dump some particular code. So this is what the Arduino hardware board. Fine. So let us come to this power jack. So here you should use the power supply, some adapter. So when you buy the Arduino board, so most probably you will be getting this Arduino boards in electronic shops. And there you can buy inbuilt power jack, right? So in this power jack, you'll be using the adapter to give the supply. And in few cases, like if you are connecting to the computer and programming and testing, there is no need of power supply even, right? So directly you cannot you may not use this power jack directly. You can connect the USB jack. Using this USB jack only, you'll be getting the power supply also. Fine. So and coming towards the this is what the 5 volts low dropout regulator. Generally the total supply requires only 5 volts of DC, right? So here we are going to use a regulator and resistable fuse 5500 milliamps. And this is what the crystal oscillator, which is all about like 16 megahertz, right? And this is the USB jack what we are going to use. And next, coming to the other ICs like USB serial IC and transmitter receiver pin, LED, and power and 13th pin LED. And this is power LED. When you switch on the board, this LED is going to switch on, right? And coming to us, these are the same 3.3 volts low dropout regulator. This is the another regulator supply what we have, a regulator. So these are the internal parts. So coming towards the pins. So in this Arduino, you are going to have 0 to 13 digital IO pins. So these digital IO pins, we are going to use this digital IO pins for interfacing some particular peripheral. So let us say like if I want to design some particular project, so most probably using microcontroller, you may have to control or you may have to monitor something, right? So at that situation, you should have some input and output peripheral. Let me say some LED to give some indication, or LCDs to give some display, or we may use some sensors to take some input, or we'll be saying taking some switches. So like that, those particular digital peripherals you can connect to this 0 to 13 pins, right? And the other one we have ground pin and reference pin, right? So this 13th pin internally it is connected to the a small LED uh, light, right? So this pin is internally connected. So people who are trying to test this LED, they'll be this Arduino board, they'll be testing with the 13th pin, which was internally connected one LED peripheral to the 13th pin. So you can program to that 13th pin and you can test it out. This board is working or not. So these are the 13 pins we have. You can up to 13 inputs you can use if we have 13 pins, so you can use all these 13 pins for connecting the peripherals. Along with you will be having the analog IO pins. So generally, if we take like if you are taking some sensors, so most probably few sensors will be in analog form. So they'll be giving the data output from the sensors in analog form. So we'll be trying to take these analog pins A0 to A5 as an input. So you can connect up to 6 analog sensors, right? So you can have this A0 to A5 analog pins as an input, and you can take it these analog pins as an input, and you can uh, use these analog sensor values, and you can do some monitoring or controlling things, right? So we have these analog pins. And coming towards this power pins, so generally we are going to have 5 volts means it has 3.3 volts supply pin, 5 volts supply pin, and 2 ground pin. That's when a situation comes like you are connecting some peripherals. Even that peripheral, if I take an LED or any particular switch or some particular sensor, it also needed some particular supply, some 5 volts or 3.3 volts of supply. So at that situation, what we prefer to use, we should take again the supply and we should connect some batteries. Instead of that, it has the out pins 5 volts and 3.3 volts. So you can use this pin to give the supply to the sensor, or you can use this pin to give the some supply to the LED, so that it will work and it will give some input or it will take as an some output from the board, right? And it has some reset button separately and 2 ground pins, right? So instead of using separate battery for smaller peripherals, you can prefer to have these 2 pins as a supply pins for the peripherals even. So guys, this is about the Arduino board, right? So this is what a brief introduction regarding Arduino board. So let us know about the microcontroller, about few description regarding the microcontroller what we are going to use in this Arduino. So guys, this is what Atmega 328 microcontroller. It's a 28 pin AVR microcontroller, and it is an 8-bit microcontroller, and it has the memory 32 flash programming memory 32 kilobytes, and it has the ROM data memory of 1 kilobyte, and it has the SRAM data memory of 2 kilobytes. And total IO pins, whatever it has, like 23 IO pins. So, but in generally in board, coming towards the board, we are using only 13 digital IO pins and 6 analog input pins, right? So these are the pins we are acting, which was interfaced in the board, right? So generally it has 23 IO pins. And coming to the timers, it has two 8-bit timer, or it can be used as one 16-bit timer. And it has 6 10-bit 6 channel analog to digital converter. So these are the few more features regarding Atmega 328 microcontroller which we are using in Arduino board. So the operating voltage, it is all about like 5 volts. Recommended like 7 to 12 volts you can recommend. And the input voltage limits is 6 to 20 volts you can prefer. And digital IO pins, as I said, 0 to 13, total 14 IO pins. Out of we have 6 pulse width modulation output pins. So let we'll be discussing like what is the use of PWM pins, and 6 analog input pins, and the current DC current of IO pins is all about 40 milliamps, and DC current of per IO pins is 50 milliamps. And flash memory, we discussed like 32 kilobytes. Out of 2 kilobytes is used for bootloader. And RAM is 2 kilobyte, ROM is 1 kilobyte, and the speed is all about 16 megahertz. So getting started. So this is all about like hardware, guys. So you can have this. This is the board what we have, and using this Arduino board, you can. This is the hardware I can say. So this is the total description. So using this, you can start programming. So now, how to program? How to program this Arduino board and how we are going to execute, right? So this we'll be knowing in the next session. So here coming towards the downloading the Arduino software. So in this Arduino software, so in generally Arduino, you can directly go Google it as an Arduino software, Arduino UNO software. So you can directly getting the links using that. It is free of download. So you can download the Arduino software freely in the official website itself, right? So so this is what a general link what I have given in the Arduino about the thing, and it's an Arduino IDE. You can download and install this, or the Arduino software itself is going to give you online programming also. You can code it online, and in the online itself you can dump into your board, right? So you have two options, right? So let us know like what using that software what we are dealing with. So guys, this is how it looks like, the Arduino software. So these are the toolbox, menu bar, and this is the button bar, so shortcuts, and this is what how the editor window looks, and this is the start status, and there is some notification if you have any errors or anything. Using this you will be knowing, right? So this is how the Arduino software looks like. Guys, I'll be showing you in the real time even. So guys, this is how you have to select the particular COM port and Arduino board. This comes when you are trying to connect the board. So usually after getting your Arduino board and you start installing the Arduino and you start programming, so there is one option. We can connect the Arduino board and parallelly you can code it and dump. Or you have the second option, better option. What is like you just program it perfectly. After that you can connect and you can install. So to connect that your Arduino board to the software, like to the software and to dump the program, whatever you have written, that program that will be converted into hexadecimal, and that hexadecimal file should be dumped into the Arduino board. So how it can be happen? So after connecting, the JTAG cable will be given. So it should be connected to the Arduino to the USB of your system. So that is going to show you in the serial port. In tools, you will be having the serial port as an option. There you can find the option like COM1 will not be the your Arduino board. Other than COM1, whatever you will be having, that particular COM will be treated as your Arduino board, right? So most probably as laptops, if you can find, you will be getting COM14, COM12, like multiple COMs we have. So if you have computers, like you may have COM4, COM5 like that. So that particular COM you should select before you can after connecting your board. You will be knowing by using this serial port, and you should select the boards. So actually Arduino, we have multiple Arduino boards, but as a startup and as a best preferable is Arduino UNO for a startup people. So you can prefer Arduino UNO board, right? So you have to select that board and then you have to select the serial port. So this is how you are going to connect your board to the software, right? So then, so what is the part of execution, right? So now coming to the execution part, guys. So after writing your program, you should compile first. So after clearing all errors, then you should start uploading. So when you click on upload button, you'll be getting the RX TX LEDs, whatever there in the Arduino board, that will be started blinking. So as it start blinking, that means like some particular code is going to dump into the board. So this is how the dumping procedure. So guys, let us know how to write the program first. So just let me, guys, this is how your Arduino software looks like. So yeah, this is how the Arduino software all about. This is the menu bar, file, edit, sketch, tool, and help. So this is how I said like. So I have not connected the port, so I'm not able to see the port. Otherwise, here board is selected actually, Arduino Uno board. And then after, if you have connected some particular board, here you can see the serial port like COM1, COM2 like that. And this is what the coding editor window. So guys, here in Arduino, you can see two functions, void setup and void loop, right? So you will be having two set of functions, void setup and void loop. So this void setup is going to give this, in this void setup, you have to give the initialization, whatever the IO pins you are going to take in your project, and what you are going to, this is the total Arduino has 14 pins, 0 to 13. So all these 14 pins can be treated as inputs or outputs. So you has to decide whether I should use it as input or output. And in the loop, you should write the function what you are going to treat it as, right? So guys, we have few commands which we are trying to specifically using in this Arduino, right? This using this commands itself, we are trying to write the code, right? So here in this Arduino software, we have few example programs. So using these example programs only, you can take help of these example programs and you can analyze how to program this Arduino, right? So the basic program generally we used to prefer is Blink, right? Blink is a program where it is going to give you, guys, this is what the Blink program, where it is going to give you the coding like void setup and void loop. I just don't want to disturb this example program. I'm just copying and pasting in the new file. So guys, this is what the void setup and void loop is all about. This Blink program is trying to blink the LED. So generally, this is the LED button where it is internally connected to the 13th pin. So as I said, the LED button is connected to 13th pin. So guys, instead of LED button in, it is a default name for 13th pin. But coming towards the programming pattern, better you use the same number or you can define that number as some name. So guys, this is what the programming regarding connecting the LED pin, LED to the Arduino board for 13th pin and blinking that LED for every second. So guys, you can see here in void setup, I have initialized the 13th pin. So this is the command what we use, pin mode. So pin mode is a command to initialize the pins as an input or an output. So that you should decide, like, shall we go with the whatever the peripherals you are connecting, is that input peripheral and output peripheral, and which pin you are going to connect. So 13th pin is an LED. So I'm connecting, let us assume, or like, let me give the example, like for 13th pin, I'm connecting an LED. right? So this LED pin, one particular pin is connected to the 13th and the other one will be given to the ground. So this LED is an output actually. It is going to give some information like indication, blinking or off. So this is an output. Switch is called as an input, right? So this 13th pin, I'm writing it as an output. It should be capital enough. So if I treat, I can write it as input. So it means like you are treating it as an input pin, right? So generally it is an output pin. So let me take one more pin. So let me take a pin mode. So in pin mode, PIN should be small enough, M should be capital and more. So the color has changed. So let me treat the second pin as an input. Sorry. So this one is output. 13th pin is connected to the LED. So that is what. So I said like you should use capitals and second pin I'm treating it as input. Semicolon. So this is what the void setup. So whatever you initialize, if you take few more pins, you should write there. You should take it as pin mode and you should specifically name that number, which part number you are connecting using, which particular pin number you are using, and you should mention is it used for input or output, right? So then this completes the void setup. Coming towards the void loop. In this void loop, you start writing some function regarding using those pins. So now actually you have written, it is already in default like the 13th pin should be high. It means like LED should be glow. And after a delay of 1000, it means like 1 second. It is treated as 1 second. Again, you are disabling the blink, means you are switching off the LED. So for this, you have to write the command called digital write, right? So digital write is a command to give some control or to give some command to the particular pin. So let it high or let it low, or you should want to give some blink thing that will be using digital write. And the delay is just a small function which is trying to provide you some delay, right? And digital write low. So guys, if it is treated as input, so as I said, pin number 2 is an input. So what happens here? So here I should take some variable int a. Guys, here it isn't just variable int a. So you can use, it is also uh, inbuilt, means it is also somewhat like this programming, this library was built like with the help of means you can embed the C programming. So as if C programming I'm using here, you can use all for loops, functions, if loops, conditions, everything, whatever you have done in C, you can use it here. And uh, in addition with C programming, you should follow some embedded knowledge, like how to use this commands to program for particular controller. So now I'm taking a as a variable to read the whatever we are taking from the input of 2 pin. So here I'll be writing digital. So digital read of second pin. So using the digital read, so these all digital pins will be giving either 1 or 0. Okay. So I'll be taking some 1 or 0 from pin number 2. So let me say 2 is connected to a switch. I'm connected a switch to the pin number 2. So from pin number 2, I'm using the command digital read. Using this command, I'll be taking the information into the integer A. So guys, in void setup only we are initializing the pins, whatever the pins we are using. The other variables you can initialize in the loop or outside the loop or anywhere, right? So here I have used in the loop only I have initialized A. So guys, as I'm using this switch, so it should use some, it should have some use, right? So let me have the if loop, like if A equal to, means if switch is on, equal to 1. So it, as I said, it will be giving either 1 or 0. So at that situation, I'm taking this LED should be high. Fine. So I'm closing here itself. If, and of course I can write same if here, or I can use else if. No, I'm using else. So else, this is what we can do, right? You will be switching off your LED, right? So this completes the total void loop. So here digital pin mode is to initialize the pins, digital read is to read the input pin, digital write is to write something into the output pin. So this is the basic embedded a small functioning of a small experiment using Arduino. Yes, so like this, we'll be writing the codes regarding the Arduino. So like this, we have multiple examples in the Arduino, guys. So you can know how we read analog sensors, and you can have like you'll be using some blink delays, and you can have some communication programs and display, and you'll be having liquid crystal if you want to display something using LCD. So this is what how you will be using the LCD programming part, right? So so guys, these are the basic commands what we are going to use to build a program. So now let us continue our session. So you have got a minimum general idea about how to program this uh, Arduino board. So guys, here a small program, means a small diagram here using. So this is what the input pin, a boy standing on a particular, I can say it is treated as an input, and using some other peripheral, it is taking some output. So it is all about like as this step, as he is using to press this particular plate or like a switch, this particular motor is trying to, this particular motor is trying to rotate, and it is going to give you some hand, right? So here what is happening, using this computer he has programmed like a switch is pressed, maybe it is like second pin. So if the switch is pressed, the motor should be on. So that is what the program we have done recently. So what sort of transducer you are using, it may be a switch or it may be some sensor like that, and the output which may be using, you may use LED or motors like that, buzzer even. So this is how general input output peripherals functioning using Arduino, right guys? So it should not, it is not compulsory you should connect computer every time. You can use power supply. After dumping the code, the computer usage is completed. So directly you can take your Arduino board, you can connect the peripherals, and you can test it out. So guys, as I said, the digital inputs only gives zeros and ones itself, right? So no analog values will be given by the digital. So this is what we discussed, pin mode. So pin number and which mode, input or output. Digital read, you will be taking that pin number. Digital write, pin number, value high or low. So this is how we are using these three commands to execute some as basic programming. So this is what the basic program, 13th pin I have taken as output, and I'm trying to blink. So this is the basic program, guys. Generally, we try to start with, we'll be trying to have some knowledge regarding, and slowly we'll be going with the other programming parts. So same thing I have shown you here with other way of diagram. So these are the 14 digital pins and 6 analog pins. So these are the major concepts what we have to remember and how we have to use this. And this is the USB jack. So in using this only, you will be trying to dump. And the same thing, You have taken a switch and LED connected, and you are trying to test by pressing the switch. You are trying to blink the LED. So guys, you can see here. mm, Here he has taken a ground pin, and he has taken sixth and seventh pin, right? Sixth pin is to connected to the LED, and seventh pin is connected to switch. Then seventh is an input and sixth is an output. As we have taken as an example, second pin as an input and 13th pin as output. Here he has taken sixth, seventh pin is input. As switch press, LED should be blink. So LED, as it has some resistance, you should use a 10 kilo ohms of resistor in between the supply to the LED, right? So for this, you may not need connecting taking a breadboard and connect. You can directly solder it out, connect it out, or yeah, it will be better enough to use breadboard. So as I said, PWM pins, we use PWM pins to increase or decrease the brightness of LED. This here you can see using the pulse width modulation, you can directly, you may not give directly one as an input. You can variate the supply, and you can variate the brightness of the LED. Means if when you are giving the output as high, in high itself you can decrease the brightness, or you can mediumize, or you can increase the brightness of the light, right? So in not only here we are saying about LED, but if you can say, like, if I connected a motor. So depending upon the situation, if I say like temperature controlled fan is some particular project. So as the temperature is increasing, slowly you can increase your speed of the fan, or as the temperature is decreasing, you slowly you can decrease the speed of the fan. So that can be helpful here, as we can use the PWM pins, right? So what are the PWM pins? Here you can see pin number 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, and 11. These six pins are called as PWM pins. So for these pins, we have an example projects like street light controlling. So if it is daytime, you should switch off the light. If it is drowsy, you can you can give this small brightness, medium brightness. If it is total night time, so you can give full brightness. That is what street light. And as I said, like temperature controlled fan. So like that, we have some examples of using this PWM pins. Guys, we have some exercises like this. You can use buzzer in place of LED, so that the buzzer is going to glow. So here he is taking some analog pin. So guys, when you are reading the analog pin, you will be writing analog read. Before that, we have taken digital read, as the switch is digital. If you are taking some temperature sensor, you will be writing analog read. So this is the exercise where you are taking the temperature input, and you are trying to, if the temperature is increased, so you are trying to switch on the buzzer, right? Coming to the other way of exercise is serial communication. So guys, if you are trying to communicate with one board to the another system, so you should have some serial communication. So maybe like Bluetooth controlled, means you can connect some Bluetooth module and you can control. So Bluetooth control or Zigbee. So for such particular modules, now we have got some IoT, Wi-Fi, GSM. So all these communication modules require some sort of code. You can connect some that particular communication module to the Arduino board, and now you can program that communication module, right? So what are the basic communication, guys? When coming to the Bluetooth and Zigbee is simple enough. When you take IoT module, or when you take GSM module, bit more commands has to be introduced. So what is the basic communication module you use? If So these are the transmitter and receiver pin. So when you are using this serial communication, this receiver pin and transmitter pins are trying to blink. This indicates like something is going to transmitting and receiving. So same thing happens when you dump some code into the Arduino board. This receiver pin is going to be blink using USB. So guys, in this Arduino software itself, it has serial monitor where when the Arduino board is trying to communicate with the computer, you can use this serial monitor. We have Hello World serial communication program in this, so you can check it out there. So, so guys, these are the communication. If you want to use, if you want to write a command for Bluetooth module or GSM or IoT, Zigbee, like that. So these are the basic communication commands for Arduino. So serial begin, guys. Serial begin is compulsory. It should be in setup, voice setup function. So serial begin, here you should mention the baud rate, which particular baud rate you are trying to use. So generally you'll be using 9600 is a basic baud rate. Out of this you have many, very less also, very more also, right? 11,000, 5200 and 115200. So like that we have multiple baud rates. You can use any of that particular baud rate. And that is what the beginning of the command for communication. Then these are all remaining commands you will be using in the void loop. Basically, pin number 0 and 1 is used for receiver and transmitter pins. In digital Arduino, in digital pins like 0 and 1 is used for receiver and transmitter pin. Most probably, you can connect those 0 and 1 pins to the communication modules, Bluetooth like that. Otherwise, you should mention which pin you are connecting in the void setup, right? This serial print or serial print ln is the command you are trying to transmit some information, some data to the other side. So to transmit some data, you are trying to use serial print or serial print ln, right? So these commands, ln instance, next line, it is trying to print. So these commands, if you are trying to transmit some information, hello world, to one system to the another system, you will be using serial print. And if you are reading something, if you are trying to receive something from the other side, other system, you will be using the command called serial read. That you will be taking into some character variable and or string variable, and you are trying to analyze. Serial available is a command which is trying to check availability of the system. Means if you are connected with the Bluetooth, first you should check another Bluetooth system is available or not. Then only you can print something or you can read something. And serial write is the same command as serial print is going to do. And serial translate is trying to check it out the ASCII values. Like if it is a number, it will be treated as number. Like serial translate is trying to give. So this is one type of exercise. Here he is with the help of serial communication. He is trying to connect some LEDs and he is trying to blink those LEDs, right? So, so guys, this is about the Arduino programming. So, so this is what how we can take an Arduino and how we can program the Arduino, guys. So probably you just try to check it out how to connect the Arduino and then you can start programming. So if you can analyze how to program one by one, you can if you can analyze these commands exactly, guys, you can write your own code. So that is what I have tried to share using this session, right? Thank you.